So I've never really been that good at first-person shooters, and a problem I have is that there's never a perfect gun that I play with. You know, I play on Black Ops 2, and I've literally tried all the guns, and some guns I'm fairly good at, I'm kind of consistent on them, some guns I'm terrible at, but a problem that I have is that I suddenly get really good at one gun, and you know, I'm really good at it. There's like a few games that I'm just owning at it, and I'm just so happy, and then the rest are kind of normal. You know, I'm okay with the gun, and then suddenly, out of the blue, maybe it's like a few weeks since I started using that gun, I get terrible at it. And when that happens, I search for a different gun, and suddenly I get very good at that gun. Like, I'm playing a few games, and I'm getting terrible at it, so I quit on that gun, I find a different gun, and I start using it. I don't know if I'm just giving up too early, I don't know if I'm just not feeling it good on that day, and I'm just being negative about everything, and I'm not being very good because I'm just not aiming properly. And then suddenly, when I get a different gun, I'm all positive again because I think it's gonna help me. And then when it does, it just reinforces that. And you know, after I used that gun, you know, it just lost a few weeks of being really good at it, and suddenly I get terrible at it again, and I find a different gun, and I keep on going. And you know, after doing this for so long, I've gone through all the different guns, and now I'm just keep on switching through the guns that I have, like the guns that I've already used. You know, I recently used so many different guns that I came back and I found the MSMC that I was using was like all leveled up and everything, and I even prestiged it once, and I couldn't even believe that I even touched that gun because it was so long ago. But you know, after having so many of these problems, I've really been questioning myself on what's happening here. You know, I would watch these videos, and they would tell me like each of the guns and how good they are with like their fire rate and the amount of damage they give per bullet, and like how fast they reload and everything about each specific gun. So after watching these videos, I test out the guns that were most recommended, and I would completely stop using the guns that were said to be terrible. Even if I felt like the gun was good, if the person in the video told me that they were terrible, I'd completely stop using them. So I'd go and test out each of these guns, I would unlock them, and then I would go and test them out. But to me, they weren't any different. They don't feel any different, they didn't seem any different, they didn't do me any better than what I used before. They didn't get me any better kills or anything. It all seemed the same to me, even though, you know, the shots to kill were different, the fire rate was different, and I knew that in each gun there was even the slightest difference that would get me better at having kills. I mean, there was probably a difference between the guns, but I couldn't really tell the difference, and you know, I just go with what feels right. And I remember I'd used this gun called the Vector so much. It felt really great because it had no recoil, and I really loved it. It was my favorite SMG until I'd watched a video that told me how good it was. And it turned out to be like the slowest time to kill or something, like the worst gun of all the SMGs, so I just completely stopped using that. I never used it again, and I used some other guns that my friend suggested. You know, I got good at those, I kept on going. And yeah, so with all these different problems, I don't know if you guys have the same problem. I mean, I think this might be a usual thing for everyone, because they don't really have a good gun, but for me, there's never really a good set of guns. Like, there's never really a good set of guns that I could fall back on. I just always want a perfect gun that I'm always good at, so I can get like good camos on it. But I've never really found it. And I'm just wondering, tell me in the comments if you have the same problem. Tell me if it's not a problem, if it's usual. So yeah, tell me what you think. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be posting more Black Ops content, you know, all that kind of stuff, so keep a lookout.